How's it going, guys? Welcome to Unfiltered Sports. This is my first college basketball bracketology video. I know I am quite a bit late. I wanted to get one out sooner, but just never got time to it. But we have it. Is March, or excuse me, it is February 25th. March is just 4 days away now, 3 days away, however many days are in February. So hopefully I'm gonna make this one. I expect good things out of it. I don't think, I hope not too much changes, but I know a lot will. We have a couple games today. Obviously, a loaded slate on Saturday, and then a few games on Sunday. So I'll probably make it Sunday night, Monday morning, when the new rankings or Joe Lenardi's bracketology comes out. Update all the stuff, but we'll get right into it. Obviously, first, you know, you got your Gonzaga moving on. There's not too much to say there. Colorado State versus Notre Dame. I think this is a really good matchup. I think this is a lot of great 8-9 matchups this year. This is probably going to be my first or second one, depending on how the bracket actually pans out. But I just kind of like Notre Dame a little bit more. They're just kind of having a sneaky good season. They really don't get talked about at all. They were first in the ACC for a little bit. They're still second. I don't think they'll win the ACC or win the ACC tournament. Obviously, I think that goes to Duke. I think they have a chance. I'd probably put them at like 22, 23%. But I think Colorado State is a very streaky team. So, if Colorado State wins out, they win the Mountain West tournament and they come into March Madness hot like that, I think Colorado State easily wins this game. But, if they lose a game, I think they play Saturday, and then, they get second or third in the Mountain West, I think Notre Dame wins. So I think Notre Dame is going to move on here. Obviously, it doesn't matter. Both teams will lose to Gonzaga. Next, Bama, North Texas. Another matchup I like. I'm still going to go with North Texas. I know they get talked about a lot right now, and I think they deserve the hype. They are a really good team, in my opinion. Best defensive team, in my opinion, as well. Bama is also streaky. They like to play fast, and they like to score the ball a lot. If Bama doesn't score the ball a lot, that means they probably are going to lose. I think North Texas holds them in check, and they win. Another matchup I kind of probably should have put in a different bracket, but this is South Dakota State versus UCLA. And I'm still going to go with South Dakota State. I know it's another team that it's getting a lot of talk. A lot of people like them to be a Cinderella. I do too as well. They just got out of an amazing game with Oral Roberts where they scored 109 points in overtime to win. 200 plus point game. That shows me that they can score the ball a lot. They can shoot it from deep. And this team's the best three-point shooting team in the nation. So I want you to put that in perspective. That's why people have this so high. They're shooting, like, I think it's like 45. It might even be higher than that. So if South Dakota State on any given night, they shoot 33 pointers and they're making 13, 14 of them, that's a lot of points just off three pointers. Obviously, it could be a lot higher. They could shoot fucking 40 of them. But I like South Dakota State. You know, I don't necessarily think they'll beat UCLA, but I think they'll beat who they match up against. I don't think it will be UCLA though. USC Creighton. I like USC. They kind of flying under the radar a little bit as well. Creighton just lost their starting freshman point guard, Nemhard. Is it Ryan or is that the one that plays at Gonzaga? It's Nemhard. He leads their team in assists and steals, 13 points. That's a big blow. Wisconsin, John Davis is that dude. Give me Wisconsin moving on. Boise State, North Carolina. I think North Carolina is also a little bit overrated. I think Boise State's defense will hold them in check. Low scoring game here. I think Boise State wins it by close margin, probably 3-4 points. And obviously Texas Tech is moving on. Auburn wins. Iowa State, Wake. You could make the argument that Wake shouldn't even be in the tournament. I understand it. They got two more games. I think they'll win out. They're not against good teams, so I think they will. Um, it really just depends. If Wake Forest scores a lot, they'll probably win, but Iowa State has quite good defense. But Iowa State has just not been playing good at all in Big 12 play. That's because it's the Big 12. I'll just trust the Big 12 because you can't go wrong trusting the Big 12 in March. They never disappoint, really, unless it's Texas. Um, Iowa State, wow, crazy overtime win, or not overtime, almost overtime against Illinois last night. Um, yeah, they got a squad. I will admit I heavily underrated Ohio State. I always said that they shouldn't be as high as they are ranked, even when they were ranked like 20 or 19. But Ohio State has proved me wrong. Providence, Vermont. I got Providence. I think Providence won't make a run, but I would like them to at least win a game in March Madness. They definitely deserve it. Arkansas versus either Memphis or Michigan. I'd like to see um I'd like to see Memphis make it instead of Michigan, but it doesn't matter. I think Arkansas is a great team this year. Duke's winning it. Marquette, TCU. You could always trust the Big 12. I'm gonna pick Purdue real quick though. You could always trust the Big 12. I really like Marquette. They're one of my favorite teams this year. So I'll go with Marquette. But I think TCU easily could win that. I should probably finish this side of the bracket real quick. I got Zaga moving on. Whoa, my bad, yo. Zaga, easily. North Texas, South Dakota State. Just give me South Dakota State. I'm so dumb. I think they have the highest chance. Even though North Texas can defend three quite well. USC, Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin. USC is a great team. Obviously, they made a run last year into the Sweet 16. I don't think it happens this year. Texas Tech as well. So, out of this side of the bracket, the only upset I have is South Dakota State, but I still have the 1, 2, and the 3. Give me Texas Tech. I love Texas Tech this year. Give me Gonzaga. I really like this matchup a lot. Obviously this is March Madness from 2019 rematch in the was it the Elite Eight or the Final Four? I don't remember. Texas Tech won. I think they do it again. You just can't pick Gonzaga. Yeah, well, you could pick them to make the Final Four. You just can't pick Gonzaga to win it until they actually do it. But I'll go Texas Tech there. Auburn, I think it's a great team. They win it, they make it. Ohio State, Providence, I think it's a really good matchup, but I think Ohio State is a very, very, very good team. Arkansas, Duke. Actually, let me do Purdue, Marquette, because Purdue wins it. Arkansas, Duke. Give me Arkansas. Give me the 6th seed upset, making the Sweet 16. I don't really like Duke. Paulo Banchero is a great player. Trevor Keels. But I think Arkansas is just the better team, to be honest. I really like Arkansas. Arkansas, Purdue, though. Purdue, man. Jaden Ivey is that guy. He is fun to watch. He is fun to watch. I'm excited I hope Purdue makes a run and his draft stock goes up. I think he's better than Paulo Banchero. I do. Auburn, Ohio State. This tricky one for me because I like Ohio State because I think Auburn is not as good as people put him out to be. So I'll go Ohio State there. Call me crazy. But Jaden Smith is pretty good though. He's pretty good. And then I'll go Purdue. So I got a 2 seed and a 2 seed in the Final Four. We'll come back to that later. Arizona's moving on. This should not be Seton Hall, by the way. It's a misinput. Wyoming, Seton Hall. Give me Wyoming. I don't like Seton Hall at all. I don't even think they should be in the tournament. But Texas, Davidson. I really like Davidson, but Texas is just bigger, stronger. Obviously, they're from the Big 12. Texas is just a choke in fucking March Madness. That's why I really want to take Davidson. And you know what? I will. Tennessee, though, they're beating Chattanooga. I don't really like Chattanooga as well. I think they're a little bit overrated this year. LSU Loyola, I think Loyola is overrated. I think LSU is actually a good team when they're fully healthy. Fully healthy, they're a great team. Top 15, fully healthy. Illinois, moving on, even though they lost last night. Kofi Cockburn will have a great March Madness. I bet he will. Xavier Rutgers, you could make the argument Rutgers shouldn't be here. I get it. Even if they do make it, I think Xavier's actually pretty good. I think they're honestly better than Providence, even though they lost in triple overtime. But that was in Providence. I think they're better than Providence. They outplayed them that game fully. Baylor's moving on. Arizona's moving on. My favorite team this year. I spelled Tennessee wrong. Whatever. Um, I don't really like Tennessee. Not like as a team. I love Tennessee in 2019. When they had Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield. Um, I don't see everything that people see out of Tennessee this year. I don't know if I'm just off on that, but I'll go Davidson. 12 seed making the 16. Why not? LSU Illinois. I think it's a great matchup. But I think Illinois is going to play this game actually pretty close to home. So I think Illinois moves on. Xavier Baylor, give me Baylor. Arizona's moving on. If they get this side of the bracket, that's just easy. Like if they have to play random 16 seed, Wyoming and Davidson, no Power 5 teams. Good for them. And then Illinois, Baylor. I've thought about this one for a while, but I'm still going to go Baylor. I just think Illinois they're pretty streaky as well. Streaky team. Um, yeah, and then I'll just move Arizona on, I guess. Come back to that one. Kansas, great team. St. Mary's, Murray State. I hope this matchup doesn't happen because I think St. Mary's could make a run. At least make it to the round 32, but Murray State is good. They're a good team, man. UConn, Indiana / San Diego. Give me UConn. Houston, Toledo. I think Toledo's a little overrated. Michigan State, San Fran. Oh, man, I got to come back to that one. Let me move on Kentucky. Let me move on Iowa. Iowa's great, man. Let me move on Nova. Oh, Lord. Michigan State, San Francisco. Michigan State has not been playing good recently, but I think come March, Tom Izzo shapes up his team, gets him ready for March. I want to pick Murray State here. I'm not going to lie. I really do want to pick Murray State. But I can't pick against one seeds. I just can't do it. I can't. One seeds have to make the Sweet 16 in my brackets. Even though we saw some lose last year. UConn, Houston. I think Houston plays in an easy conference, and they've lost to all the good teams in their conference, so I don't think they stand a chance here. Michigan State, Nova. Nova's a great team. Colin Gillespie is amazing. Jay Wright is arguably one of the best coaches in college basketball. I think he's top 3. Iowa, Kentucky. Oh, man. You're not going to like this one. I'm going Iowa. Oh, man. I think if Kentucky, we've seen they aren't playing too good with their injuries, even though they came back against LSU and beat them without Ty Washington. But, that's all it takes. And they're going to play in the SEC tournament. Physical teams, everyone's going to try to beat them. I think there could be an injury that happens. And I think Iowa's a great team, nonetheless. Kansas, UConn, give me Kansas still. And then Villanova, Iowa, give me the 7 seed in the Sweet 16. Come on now. But their run will come to an end, I think. Or will it? No, I'll take Kansas. So, no crazy upset in the Final Four. We got some upsets in the Elite Eight. Ohio State and Iowa. But a 2 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed, 1 seed. Arizona, Kansas. Give me Zona. Oop, wrong one. and Texas Tech versus Purdue. I like Texas Tech a lot. I hope they win it, but I think Purdue is a great team. Purdue versus Zona. I will take Zona. Tiebreaker, total score. I'll go high scoring game. I'll go 154. So yeah, that's my March Madness bracket for now. Obviously, a lot of things subject to change. We got a couple big upsets. You know, we got South Dakota State in Sweet 16, Davidson Sweet 16, Ohio State Elite 8, Iowa Elite 8. So, you know, a couple upsets across the board here. But yeah, that's my bracket. I got another one that I'll hopefully come out with Sunday or Monday. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.